Alright, what's up folks? So we just got a alternate Personas Facts, finally. Literally 4 days before the expansion dropping. This is a pretty hot topic right now, so I wanted to go ahead and just go over this, put just a short little video together. Sorry if I sound a little bit more stuffy than normal, it's because I'm sick, but this is something I feel like is pretty worthwhile talking about. So, anyhow, we're just going to go over this. This is the alternate Personas Facts. We're going to do kind of questions and answers. So, alternate personas allow you to swap to another class while retaining your name, inventory, bank, crafting skills, keying, and much more. This is going to go pretty in depth. So number 1, will this just be enhanced shrouds, i.e. different versions of classes? Answer, no. Will it allow you to swap to another fully functional class? Yes. Can I absorb existing alternate characters to gain equivalent level alternate persona including gear, AAs, trading skills, inventory? No. Not currently, it's something we're considering in the future. That's pretty big, because I know a lot of people, myself included, that have a lot of this. We have lots and lots of high-level characters across the board. Like I have a 120 Necromancer, a 101 Bard, a 82 Magician, etc, etc. So, something being considered. Interesting. Is there a risk to moving evolving items to have homogenized stats between the classes' archetypes and moving them to all so you're spared from having to level it multiple times and avoiding lore group issues? Very convoluted. There's always a risk associated with stat item rebalancing of existing items and not something we're planning to do at this time. But that doesn't, it's not a no. That's not a no, so. Will you be able to choose an individual race for each persona? Yes. What will the process be to change into other personas, certain zones, NPCs, timers, etc.? You may not change persona if you have an out of combat timer, and you must be in a zone that is fast camp, non-combat zone, or a starting city. Will disciplines that share a timer group be cleared when moving to a new persona if they share the same timer? So, short answer, timers are separate for each persona. As an example, you could use Death Dance as a bard, swap to a ranger, use True Shot, then swap to warrior and use Final Stand. When you switch back to each previous class, you will have the expected reuse timer that each one normally has. It's a whole lot of information for characters. Can I divert experience to one of my personas? No. If you can absorb alternate characters, can you take their epic weapons or other items? That was one of my biggest questions. No. The only items that can be shared with existing characters are those with the heirloom flag. Another character on your account with an epic cannot provide that to another character's persona, only their own. If you make a wizard alternate persona, if my understanding is correct, you get all the binds, assuming you get the AAs. So you can switch to a wizard, gate, or teleport and then just switch back. If the originating zone and the gate or teleporting takes you to a non-combat zone or a home city, then yes. Okay. Do you expect alternate personas to be released with Lorien's song? Yes. 4 days, guys. 4 days. Just gonna keep repeating that. Do alternate personas share achievements with the base character? Will alternate personas share the same lockouts and timers? Yes, achievements and lockout timers are shared. That's stupid. Achievements, yes, but lockout timers, that's stupid. I really dislike that. If alternate personas share achievements, how will leveling from 115 and 120 be handled, which draws heavily from achievement experience? This is the kicker, guys. For those levels, you will need to kill NPCs and use repeatable quests with experience rewards to gain for levels. AKA, it's back to old school grinding. You will not be able to use the big time AA grinding. Power levelers are going to be happy. Will Epic 2.0s be released from Epic lore groups? This is big. Yes. Epic 2.0s have been moved to their own lore groups. So a player may obtain every epic in their inventory if they meet the class requirements to obtain each. Boys, we're about to have a every class, every epic character. How will the corner cases for items that have an outsized impact on altered personas be handled? Specifically, let's see here. Generally, they'll be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Specifically, lore group epic weaponry, we just discussed that. Caster melee lore groups, currently there are no changes to be made to those lore groups. Archetype-based evolving items, no changes have been made to evolving cloak or earring at this time. Will it be possible to loot augments in the same lore group as a spittle pocketed yttrium coin? Jesus, I can't talk, guys, I'm sorry. Currently, no changes have been made to lore groups other than Epic 1.0, 1.5, and 2.0 items. Okay, so basically, all this whole discussion right here was just answered under the Epic 2.0s. Yes, you can get other Epic 2.0s. No, you cannot get other items like it. How will race limitations be handled? When you go to create a alternate persona, you will select the class that you want to be, and you will be restricted to the races that have been selected classed as an option. Okay, so whenever you pick a new alternate persona, you also have to pick a new race. You can't be an ogre monk. Will Bane Strike and other special AA like hero AAs be shared between characters? They are intended to be shared. They will, though they might not be working right away. Okay, interesting response. For the 4 days that we have. Will additional personas have a material impact on your character's zoning speed? It's an unexpected question. This isn't something that has been measured, but personas do add a lot of additional data to your character. We are continuing to make performance improvements as we have time. That's not a good response. That's not been measured, but it does add extra information, and we're continuing to make performance improvements as we have time. So what, is it going to take 10 minutes to load and you're fucked because we don't have the time? How will Type 3 augments be handled between personas? Personas share the same pool of items, including Type 3 augments. You can swap between two personas with different Type 3 augments in the same earring, if you saved an equipment set with that setup initially. This is going to be glitchy. How will saved spell sets be handled between personas? Each persona has their own spell book and will have their own saved spells. Okay. Will each persona have their own bind point and origin points? Each persona has a separate set of binds, including origin. Oh, we're going to be teleporting everywhere, boys. How will tribute setup be handled between different personas? Each persona has their own set of tribute. How will fellowship experience be done? Oh, this is a big one. Will each persona have its own vitality or shared across all? Fellowship experience may not work as expected when personas first launch. Currently, all personas share the same pool of vitality. When you log off, the last persona used will have its level apply to whatever shared experience may be available. That's going to be glitchy. I can already feel this is going to be glitchy. If you make a rogue shaman gnome persona, will you be able to make poison alchemy tinkering? While you are a rogue shaman or gnome, you will be able to use appropriate trade skills, but not otherwise. Okay, will you be able to delete a persona? Currently there's no way to delete a persona, only the base character. If you delete a persona, will you be able to reuse the slot? The persona slots you have available on your account affect all characters on all servers for the same quantity. For example, if I have 10 alternate persona slots, I can make 10 personas on all of my characters if desired. Okay, that's massive. I thought it was going to be per character. I thought it was going to be way more monetized than that. That's account wide. So if you buy an alternate persona slot, all your accounts, like all your characters on that account, server wide, game wide, has a new additional slot. That's massive. Will the persona have the fully functionality of the picked class? Yes. Will the unlocks only work on one character on one server? No, the unlocks apply to every character on every server. How many personas per character can be created? Up to the number of slots you have unlocked with a cap of 15. Part of the fun of leveling alts is doing the progression. Will non-repeatable quests be repeatable? No. Yeah, no. Currently, quests that are not repeatable cannot be repeated. How will inventory be handled? The inventory of your personas is shared. You can use the same item from one class on another if they are usable by that class, race, deity. Are no-drop items usable by personas? Yes. Oh yes, if that persona meets the requirements for that used item. That's fucking cool. Well, bards and rogues are about to have it easy for illusions and stuff as well. Oh, I never have to do that Death Greedy Visage illusion again. There's been an issue in the past with creating items by inserting an augmentation that results in an item not usable by your class. Will that now be usable? Yes, however, you will not benefit from any stats on the item if you are not the correct class. Yep. Will personas have access to the Trade Skill Depot, Dragon's Hoard, and Housing? Yes. Will personas be able to use tribute and trophies? Yes. Can a persona have the lore item of the main character has? All items are shared amongst personas, so if you have a lore item on your original character, you cannot loot another on a different persona. However, you can use that same item on other personas. Does each persona have their own bank? No. Does each persona have their own platinum? No. Can you have multiple personas of the same class? Not on the same character, you can on different characters. That's mindfuckery. Is there an experience bonus for leveling multiple personas like characters on Oakwind? No. Lame. Lame answer. It needs to give you a 10% boost per. That's lame. Will we need to clear out socials to make room for different sets of socials on all of our personas? No, each persona should have its own separate UI. This will be a lot of work to set up for the first time, but hope in long run we can have a better solution with sharing the same UI. Can all classes be played on an alternate persona of all races? No monk? No. Will this be available day one on all time lock progression servers? Oh, big question. Will this be available day one on all time lock progression servers when the expansion comes out in December, or will this only be available on time lock progression servers when they unlock this expansion? It will be available on time lock progression servers when this expansion is launched in December. So Oakwind just got really, reamed. So there's no reason to do alternate personas on Oakwind. There's none at all. Because the only legacy bonus you get is for leveling an additional character, but you get no bonus for leveling an additional persona. So this is available on all time lock progression servers. So it's rolling out now. So starting from now on TLPs, personas are available at launch. That's what I'm getting from this. Big. On the Oakwind server, how will different alternate personas affect, if at all, legacy character system? Example, having 3 alternate personas at current max TLP count is having 3 characters, blah 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 blah. It won't affect the system at this point, it's something we're considering in the future. Okay. Basically what I just said. Will each persona have its own inventory slots? Remember which items were worn for each persona, but their equip slots will not be new additional inventory space. Okay. When you swap between personas, will all the gear for the previous persona be put in your bags, or will it stay in the persona's inventory slots? So go to your bags to match your new persona's equipment slots. What? I guess I'm not getting this. But go to your bags to match your new persona's equipment slots. I guess I'm not getting that. Will personas have race options different from the main? Yes, when creating an alternate persona, you will select the class, then the selection of valid race Oh. Okay, so you're going to select the class, and then it's going to give you available races for that class. Okay. Okay, that's easy enough. Will the shared trade skill thing with personas apply to class, race, trade skills, specific trade skills? A paladin with a known rogue persona cannot use tinkering or poison making. You must change to that persona to use those trade skills. Okay, that makes sense. Will personas have a specific buff bar? Yes, including short term. I think class-specific type 3 augments are a concern for sharing class blah blah. They've already answered that. Will switching personas involve some zoning load time? Not the same way normal loading works, but there will be a delay while your new persona and UI are loaded. So it's like loading your UI, I think. Are key rings available on personas? Yes. Currently, we get various rewards for completing achievements. Will those rewards be available in Persona, or do you have to pick which character the reward is on? Since there is one shared inventory among personas, the item rewards will be an item available to multiple personas. Experience and other similar intangible rewards will go to the persona that claims it. Okay. Is Heroes Forge available across your personas if you bought that item in your main? Nice. When you log out, do you log out as your main or as your persona? You log out as who you were, main or alternate persona. With the standard expansion, you get 3 personas, but in total, or is that in total or 3 per character? If you have 3 alternate persona slots, each character on your account can make 3 personas on that server. Can you give vitality to yourself? No. Ooh, this is a long video. Each persona needs their own UI layout, so they will need a separate UI file in the directory. Yep. Yep, so it's... Yep, okay. How much will the persona slots be sold for? 1,500 Daybreak. I mean, $15 for an extra persona slot, but I guess if you can only buy up to 15 anyways, that makes sense. I mean, that 100% makes sense. Will switching personas lead to load different hotbars? Yes. Do buffs transfer between personas? We almost skipped this one. No, each persona has their own separate buffs. Is it possible for my main to plant a campfire and switch to a persona to use that campfire? And will it be on the same timer? Yes, any clicky item reuse timer is still active even after changing to a different persona. Okay. What relative power level to the normal class will personas have? 100% for that class. Okay, so it's no weaker, it's no shroud system, it's a whole new class. If you die while under an alternate persona, change to another character persona, and then get a res, will you receive the EXP back under the persona that died or the one that was active at the time of the res? You can't res a corpse from a different alternate persona. Okay, that was a big question. Is factions shared between alternate personas? No, each persona has their own separate factions. I mean, then you couldn't be a good or a bad class, so yes, that makes sense. How do mercenaries work with alternate personas? Does each alternate persona have its own mercs? Mercenaries are shared between personas. So I wonder if that means that mercenary AAs are also shared between personas, like I talked about. Ooh, that's interesting. Seems like that might be game breaking. If I camp out my main in the guild lobby, will my persona log in there, or will they be at the last logged in, or the start zone where they were created? You will log into the same place you camped most of the time. The only time you'll appear in a different location is on an alternate persona creation. Oh, first comment. Dead on arrival. You killed the interest excitement by locking it to fast camper starting zones. Classic EverQuest. First response is bad. Anyways, guys, sorry, I know that's a little bit of rambling, but I felt like this was something worth talking about. This is big. We finally got some information for this, and I just want to give a heads up. One of the top comments on here is immediately, you can submit a request for a refund for this expansion. It's still possible. If you want a refund, you still can. I'm going to test it out, and I think it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it, especially now that I know that if you use an alternate persona slot, it's for all classes on all servers. Sorry, for all characters on all servers. So if you end up buying all 15 alternate persona slots, that account is flagged permanently. Every single character on every single server, TLP is included, will have all 15 alternate persona slots. Yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you online.